All right, what's going on, y'all? We're back here at the track today. So mileage is ramping up, and I've added to the number of runs this week. And how I've done that is I've added in a speed session. So today's going to be the first actual track workout back in literally years. So I have butterflies today. Today we're going to keep it simple and just do 400-meter repeats. So I'll be progressing this up over the next several weeks. But for today, we got some 400s. And I've literally not done this in years. So definitely got some butterflies in my stomach, kind of that pre-leg day feeling, but I'm excited to get into this. So today we've got this morning, some 400-meter repeats, and then this afternoon I've got a pretty killer back day that I'm going to take y'all through. So we're going to go ahead and get set up here and get into this workout. That feels so heavy today. My legs feel like concrete. To get any leg turnover is just hurting bad. Get through it though. It's fun in its own way. This is a different kind of suck. It's good though.
One more, baby.
Yeah, we'll finish this out strong. All right, that workout sucked. Just got doing those 400-meter repeats. That was a different type of suck than I've had in a long time. Definitely different than the Zone 2 runs and very different from bodybuilder training. You know, this is the type of suck that, frankly, I've missed for years now. These kind of like deep, acute, really painful pain caves. You know, I had it my time in the military fire department, and then back in the day, of course, when I was an ultra runner. But it's been years, and I've missed doing stuff like this. So that sucked, but in a really good way. The next speed workout I've got planned is mostly going to be 800-meter repeats, which any of y'all that have kind of some running experience, you know, doing 400-meter repeats all the way up to 2-mile repeats, you know that the 800-meter repeats suck insanely bad. So that's going to be a good workout coming up here in the next few weeks. But I'm going to go ahead. I've been asked by y'all a ton the last 2 weeks on really how this running is going. So I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up and then kind of give y'all a breakdown of more of the good, the bad, and the ugly of, you know, how this hybrid athlete training has been going, because it's not all rainbows and sunshine. So I'll go ahead and get cleaned up and then catch you guys in a bit. All right, let me give you a rundown of how these runs and this hybrid training is actually going. So first off, the good news. The good news is that I am absolutely loving these runs. You know, I'm stoked every single morning to wake up and put on my running shoes, get out the door for the runs. I'm literally waking up earlier just purely out of excitement, waking up before my alarm clock because I want to, you know, get out for the run. So I've been loving it. I've been loving doing this with my fiance Jacqueline. She's picked this up at the same time getting into hybrid training. We already do bodybuilding training together every single day, but this has been super nice, us having this, you know, kind of morning run together, and we've been doing all the same exact workouts, so we're kind of progressing at the same time, and she's gotten the hybrid bug pretty bad too, so we're both absolutely loving this. So good news is that you know, absolutely loving the runs. The Zone 2 training, that's, you know, frankly all I've been doing the last several weeks. I guess you could call this week 3 now of hybrid training. And I've only done Zone 2 training up until today. So the last several weeks has been a combination of 3-mile or 4-mile runs. All last week was mostly 4-mile runs. This week has been 4-mile runs, and then today's 400-meter repeat. So all the Zone 2 training has been paying off. I'm progressing at about the rate I would think I should be. And frankly, I'm progressing even faster than I did years ago when I first jumped into ultra marathon training and really following MAF training and Zone 2 training really religiously. I went back and looked at my logs that I had logged from years ago, and I'm progressing a little bit faster than that. So I know that the aerobic capacity doesn't work the same way as muscle memory, but you know, it is bouncing back a little bit more like that. So that has been nice. The bad news. The bad news is, you know, this has not come without any bit of struggle or pain. You know, I've been asked so many times with y'all, how are my knees and how are my shins? Good news is that the knees are fine. Knees are fine. You know, glutes and hips get tight on the runs, but I've been stretching pretty religiously. That's loosened them up quite a bit, and those are getting better. You know, today, like doing this speed workout, my upper legs, especially my hamstrings, feel heavy, but overall that's fine. The part that I'm having some issues with is a little bit of shin pain on my left leg. So that's like a yellow flag, a warning sign. I've had shin splints many times years ago, time in the military, and then also during my ultra marathon time. I've had many bouts of having to kind of work around shin splints. I've had times where I could run through it, and then I've had times where I've had to actually fully take off time from shin splints. So right now is a full-on kind of like yellow flag, a warning flag, but it's not a red flag. So right now I am able to kind of run around it, and I've got some different ways to kind of get over shin splints that I found that work for myself. So I'm putting those in play now. The other thing would be the tibia anterior, so the front side. So I've got the shin pain more on the typical shin split side, which is the medial side on here, but on the lateral side I've got, I had at least some tibial pain right here. And it was frankly mainly due just from massive pumps when I was running. So my tibialis anterior was just getting so freaking pumped that it just would feel like the muscles ripping apart from the shin bone. Frankly, that I think has to do a lot with my weight. My weight, I'm still 230, and I've been trying to bring that down, and weight's sticking a lot harder than I frankly expect it to be. So I'm going to talk to y'all later in this video what I kind of have plans as far as my weight goes. I've been asked a lot of, you know, where I think my weight's going to end up sitting at. I'll talk to y'all in a bit later about this video about that, but my weight is causing these massive pumps in my calves, my tibialis anterior, and then the other part with the weight is, you know, frankly, I just got done bodybuilding several weeks ago, and while I've been, you know, tapering down into a health phase over, frankly, the last several months, you know, I'm only just now settling into true TRT range. So, you know, I'm on lower TRT than I've been on in literally years. And with that, now within the last week, a lot of those pumps have really been decreasing. So that's good news. So frankly, I think as weight comes down and you know, I just settle into more time on only TRT, not sports TRT, not TRT plus, but actual TRT with the doctor who's prescribed. More time I've got on that, the more I know these pumps are going to go away. And I think too that also is going to help with the shin. So that's really all I'm playing around right now is my weight, which is causing this kind of shin pain and some of these pumps, and just frankly more time kind of as the weight comes down and only be on TRT. But that's what I'm playing with right now. So everything's good except basically below the knee pain, but it's nothing that, you know, I'm too worried about. Other than that, you know, right now I'm so stoked with this running, and you know, that's probably going to be one of my shorter speed workouts, frankly, probably the summer, because you know, I did the cross country and track thing in high school, the shorter distances, and then I ran my first marathon when I was 17 years old, and ever since then I've been more of an endurance guy, and I can already feel that kind of biting me hard again. So I already feel like I'm going to be going back to ultra distances here pretty soon. So I'm going to keep the speed training in. One thing I didn't do back in the last time I was hybrid athlete and ultra runner is I didn't have a ton of speed workouts in. I had, you know, some longer tempo runs, more ultra marathon specific stuff. But with that being said, I love track speed workouts, and then two, you know, I really do feel like it's even beneficial at the ultra distance. Just it might need to be longer intervals than 400 meter repeats. But, you know, super stoked to keep progressing this along. Mileage is ramping up each week, and, you know, staying injury free right now. So we're rocking along, but I'm going to go ahead and get back to the house, get showered up, get a couple meals in me, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right, so yesterday I put out a Q&A on Instagram, and I got a few questions quite a few times, and then I got several other really good questions. So I'm going to go through a few of the best questions today. So the first one was, what's your targeted body weight you're going for with hybrid training? So this is a question I've been asked so many times over the last several weeks of, you know, now with all the running and the hybrid training, you know, what do you think my weight's going to come down to? So keep in mind that, you know, I'm 5'8", back before I went all in with bodybuilding and made, trying to go pro my main goal. Before that, when I was a hybrid athlete, and this was mostly natural, I went on TRT towards the end of that. I sat around 185. Down at, just my pure ultra running days, at my absolute lightest, I was at 157. At my absolute heaviest with bodybuilding, I got up to 260. And right now I'm holding 230. So my my estimate is I'm going to land somewhere around 205. This is going to take quite a while to get to this. This is going to take many, many, many months. But I think, my body's going to hold, find a new set point right about 205. It's going to be a great weight for performance on the hybrid side, so both with strength with lifting, then also being a good weight to run at. But then too, I think it's going to be a very lean aesthetic physique too. So I'm guessing it's going to land probably right around 205-ish. So what's the best way to protect joints with all the muscle tissue you have in doing hybrid training? So this is one of the reasons why all of the runs right now have been at the track. So even the zone 2 runs, I'm just going and doing laps around the track. Right now it's for that soft surface while I'm at a heavier weight. Soon, I will start incorporating dirt trail runs, and those will end up being mostly what I run on is dirt trails. But I will pretty much avoid road running if I can. Even back in the day, I preferred running on trails anyway. The other thing is, I'm on top of my supplementation. So all my vitamin supplements, I never miss any of that. And one of those is an actual joint supplement with glucosamine in it. And anytime I take that out or I have, not had it in, I do notice it. So that does help with the joints. And then the third thing is, I am letting my body weight come down. I'm 230 now. Yes, I can run with this weight, but it's a lot of weight to be pushing on the run. So I am trying to let my body weight ease its way down, and that's kind of the biggest thing helping with joints right now. So will running increase the size of leg muscles? So no, not unless you're coming from literally no athletic background or any training at all. In that case, yeah, you might put on a very small amount and your leg muscles might harden up. But no, running is not going to be good for actually putting on the size of leg muscles. That's where, something strength based. So, you could do something hypertrophy based like bodybuilding style training or, strength based like powerlifting, strongman, something like that's going to build a little bit more density and definitely build that size versus running. Running's going to, like right now I'm losing leg size with running. Running can build great detail in the legs and really harden up the legs and streamline them, but it's not going to be great for actually putting on leg size. So will you be just on TRT now? What's your TRT dose? This is another question I've been asked so many times. Will I just be on TRT? What's my TRT dose? Am I going to do cycles? So no, from now on, I'm only on TRT. I will not be cycling anymore. I've been asked the question even of, what PDs will I be using for hybrid training? I'm not using PDs for hybrid training. I will be on TRT, but that's literally just for testosterone replacement therapy, trying to have me at the top end of the normal range. So my dose that I'm on now is 175 milligrams a week. So the last 4 years or so, while I was competitive bodybuilding, my TRT or my cruise dose was 200 milligrams a week. And besides one blood work that I came in at the top end of the normal range with 200. Every other time it bumped me a little bit higher than the normal range. So I'm thinking 175 is going to be right on the money for what I need. But I'm getting a round of blood work in a few weeks, and I'm going to assess it then. So, if I need to bring it down even a little bit more, to say to 150 or 140 a week, I'll be doing that. But no, I will only be on TRT just for health purposes. No more, actual performance enhancement from PD side. Now it's all health focused, anti-aging. I want to see how much I can actually reverse some of the aging I've had from PEDs, along with, trying to just get my health, absolutely top notch. But that's definitely the focus and the goal moving forward. Now, and that's going to happen too with me coming down in weight. And the 175 a week, after many, many, many months of on that, my body's going to come down and find a new set point. So, I am going to lose some strength, over the course of, the next few months. But I will find a set point with my body that this is where I think it's going to be about 205, where I land, where I can perform extremely well on the hybrid and the running side, and I still have a decent amount of locked in strength on the lifting side. But then too, it's going to be a very lean, hard, crispy aesthetic physique too at the same time. So that's what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I have planned out. But it'll be over the course of the next several months. But I will be showing y'all, the kind of the progress along with that the whole way. But yes, I will only be on TRT from here on out. So yeah, that's going to cover the Q&A. So right now I'm going to go ahead, get another meal in me, and then we've got a killer back day today. This is a pretty brutal one. So I'll take y'all through that workout, and then afterwards give y'all a full overview of all the work we do in that training session. But I'm going to go ahead and get this meal down, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, just got done with that pull day, so let me run you through what that was real quick. So I go in there and I start on a Panada high row. I do 2 sets on that. Then I do 2 sets on an Arsenal kind of mid plate loaded row that I showed you guys. I do 2 sets on that. Then I do 2 sets on cable pullovers, 2 sets on a Panada low row. That's a killer machine. Then I do 2 sets on reverse pec deck for rear delts. And then usually I would do 3 sets on a plate loaded shrug machine, but it was taken today, and frankly, I can manage to go a week without shrugs and hitting traps. So I left that off, but usually I'd have 3 sets of shrugs. I then did 3 sets of single arm bicep preacher curl, and then finished off with 3 sets of standing easy bar curl. So that's a pull day. Pretty, this is one of my more kind of quicker workouts for the week. This one I usually get in and get out in just over 2 hours. My training sessions are always anywhere between 2 hours and 3 hours, depending on what day it is. So I'm in the gym for a good period of time. So training time is definitely ramping up as mileage is ramping up, but frankly, strength is holding really, really well. So I'm actually kind of somewhat surprised by it, but I've got a good base level of strength really, really locked in right now, and it's holding. So super excited about that. We'll see, what happens as mileage keeps ramping up. But I actually got home this morning, and I've got training logs built out that I built on my computer at home for both my runs and Jacqueline's runs. And I got home and plugged our runs in this morning, and she actually kicked my ass on the 400 meter repeats. Not only was her heart rate higher, so she was exerting more, but She actually ended up doing faster than me. So she's kicking ass at this, and she's getting excited to start ramping up mileage and doing some longer mileage. I'm so stoked that she's caught the hybrid bug herself, and she's still training for bikini and bodybuilding, but she's kicking ass with this. So super stoked for that. But that's gonna wrap up today's vlog. Today was, pretty typical day in the life, training for us. So, it's always starting with the morning run, and then a lifting session, and then mileage is just going to keep ramping up, and it's going to be a brutally hot summer, but it's going to be a good one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you got any questions, definitely drop them down below. If you guys could do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and be happy, be positive, be powerful. Have a great rest of your day.